Okay, here we are, lesson 171, which is part of the 5th review period. So we had an introduction to read today, and it set us up with a new theme, which is God is but love, and therefore so am I. And we are asked to start our practice period with that. I have to close the other window. With this lesson, and then review each lesson, spend time in quiet. It says basically go beyond the words of the lessons and just kind of be with God. That's how I get it. And it's cool because I just can feel more and more and more trust. And in fact, I've got my reminders set on my phone, but it feels to me like it's less about trying to shove the lesson into our day, because now we're at these amazing concepts like God is but love, and therefore so am I. And basically in the review it said it, once that really sinks in, and it's been the thing I've been, it's what the seekers seek for, is to know the truth of our identity. And then we're reviewing lessons 151, all things are echoes of the voice for God, and 152, the power of decision is my own. Yeah, and it's very interesting because what I'm seeing as like learning right now is I'm seeing in my own work and with some of the people that I know in my community, like their work and different things, where it's kind of like the world is asking things or demanding things of us. And I find I've shared this in some of the videos that, like, let's just say I'm, planning to work on something, and then I'm asked to work on something else. And I've found myself getting all flustered and all upset. Like, I had a plan, and sometimes I'm cool, but sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I feel very attached, and sometimes it feels like I'm just being given an opportunity to say, oh, I'd be happy to help with that. I'm currently working on this. Is beginning tomorrow okay? And it's like this relaxed state where I'm not flustered. And work is just one example. It's just like, oh, just being relaxed. Because if God is but love, and therefore so am I, if we're already at this like ultimate state in the truth of our identity, then none of these world things could like rock our socks off, It's kind of like, and if you're fortunate, you get to, like, for me, I get to work for somebody who has a sort of mastery around just being able to communicate what she's willing to do, what she's not willing to do, what her schedule allows for. Just this, like, and even today I like delegated something, and it's really my first try. I usually just assume I have to do it. So there's these assumptions that I can fall into that seemingly make life hard. Okay. And so I just use as an example, because in our practicing today, the power of decision is my own, which I'm just not recalling the lesson exactly, but I'm sure it wasn't all about decisions in this world. But I just know that when we become into mastery of the truth of our being, just have this like space between what's being presented to us and how we respond. And that's the main takeaway I'm getting, is to see when my responses are less than peaceful, and what meaning and stories I'm ascribing to situations, and how I miss something when I do that. Because it's true, I've gotten all upset about something, and then somebody has said, oh, da, da, da. And yesterday I got kind of stressed a little because the timing of a call and Justine's nap wasn't, and then it was like, oh, that's not your call actually. And I'm like, okay. But even if it was my call, I had just decided to just relax and it would be fine. Because in my mind it's like, no, I can only talk when she's sleeping. So just the way that I can block this peaceful flow of life. And to me, it's like, it's getting into the position of truth where we are so... Jennifer Hadley teaches the word unbotherable. And I think one of her students said their goal for the year was to be unbotherable. And it's become part of our language, just... And that's what I'm grateful for the course, because we're just getting better and better at being unbotherable. And I keep doing this. Because I kind of picture ourselves sitting back, almost like sitting majestically on a throne of your magnificence, your divinity. And not being down in the trenches, not scrambling, or just like sitting in your rightful place, being able to respond with dignity. And that's something I'm so excited to grow into more and more. So, yeah, and it's kind of like the first lesson, all things are echoes of the voice of God. It's like, there is no evil working against us. Even what I'm starting to see, which is just my view that feels right, is like, every like seeming curveball or just issue that's coming up for healing in our collective consciousness, in our world, it's like can so easily be used for healing. It's so, meaning I just can see that the power of love is truly stronger than anything. And that when you just decide, it's just like, oh, you just gave me lemons? I know. Or, oh, you know, oh, I have to stay home? Okay. Or, you know, and just realizing that there's nothing against us really. And everything, once we decide, it can all be used to our healing and awakening. So those are some reflections. Justine's with her dad. There's my reminder, God is but love, and therefore so am I. And yeah, so enjoy. The review section had a beautiful prayer. I'll call it a prayer. Let our doubts be quiet and our holy minds be still, and speak to us. So we have no words to give you. We would but listen to your word and make it ours. Lead our practicing. As does a father lead a child along a way he does not understand. Yet does he follow, sure that he is safe, because his father leads the way for him. So, relaxed, grateful. Sorry you don't get Justine's hugs and kisses, but she sends them from her heart to yours. Thank you.